The ratings for Wednesday's 200th edition of AEW Dynamite on TBS are in. LuFisto opens up on her negative backstage experience in AEW and opens up about the troubles that are reportedly ongoing in the AEW Women's Division. Dustin Rhodes has responded to those allegations, but LuFisto has subsequently come out with even more damning information about how the women are booked in AEW. And Nigel McGuinness calls out Bryan Danielson for a match at AEW All In at London's Wembley Stadium. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's start off talking about the ratings, the numbers, the viewers, the key demographic information for Wednesday's Dynamite 200th episode on TBS. Now, All Elite Wrestling celebrated its 200th episode of Dynamite on August 2nd, and the show certainly didn't disappoint. The surprise debut of Rob Van Dam, MJF and Adam Cole reaffirming their love for each other, and a huge women's title change in the main event highlighted a blockbuster anniversary show, with the company moving full steam ahead towards All In at Wembley Stadium in London, England. And in another positive boost for AEW, the episode held steady in the ratings and gained viewers in the key demographic from the week prior. With an average audience of 894,000 throughout the night on TBS, 406,000 of which were aged 18 to 49, according to WrestleNomics. This week's edition of Dynamite dropped by just 4,000 viewers in overall viewership from July 26, while the 18 to 49 demo viewership was up 6% from last week's 0.2 rating to a 0.31. According to WrestleNomics, viewership for Wednesday night's edition of Dynamite peaked at the top of the second hour. 964,000 viewers were watching the end of the in-ring segment with Adam Cole and MJF and the beginning of the trios match between the Elite and the team of Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett and Satnam Singh. 441,000 of those viewers were in the 18 to 49 demo, also the highest for the episode. However, overall viewership dropped sharply from there, bottoming out at 807,000 viewers for the start of the Storm Shida AEW Women's World Title main event. The match did grow its viewership, an 18 to 49 rating for the episode's 2-minute overrun. The low point for the key demo was actually the first quarter hour, which had the start of the tag team match between the duo of Chris Jericho and Konosuke Takeshita and the team of Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. 372,000 viewers between the age of 18 to 49 were tuned in at that point. Dave Meltzer has said that the show was number one on cable for the evening in its time slot. So what are your thoughts on the ratings for this week's edition of Dynamite? Do you think AEW has positive momentum heading into AEW All In at London's Wembley Stadium? But what will it take for AEW to once again have over 1 million viewers on Dynamite on Wednesday nights? Or are they just not going to get there anymore? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, a huge topic of conversation, of course, has been the booking of the women's division in AEW and the backstage drama surrounding the division. Now, this has really exploded with independent pro wrestling star LuFisto's recent tweets and comments about her negative backstage experience while she was seemingly trying out not only as a performer but mainly as a coach for the women in All Elite Wrestling. And it's included accusations against AEW star and coach Dustin Rhodes. He has since responded to accusations aimed at him about his conduct and an incident backstage. Now, as I mentioned, if you're not really familiar of this story, it's been a developing one. Over the weekend, indie wrestler LuFisto caused a stir online by tweeting about her experience working an AEW show in April 2022. She had tweeted, quote, "It's cute how people blame booking for a bad women's division, talent with too much power, talent denigrating each other, talent trash-talking potential employees so they never get in as soon as they walk in. It starts here." And then a little bit saying, "The one you called effing French-Canadian asshole." Now, she did say she was willing to open up and explain this more in detail, to not just vague tweet about things. So she's done an interview with Fightful. And in a new interview with Fightful, LuFisto clarified who she was referring to as having allegedly called her an effing French-Canadian arsehole, that being Dustin Rhodes. Now, she has recalled the situation that happened before her match that night, saying, and you can see the quotes on the screen right now, she said, and I quote, "I go to the restroom. As I open the door, I hear she's something something. I open the door, and on the table, Ruby Soho is sitting with Dustin," that being Dustin Rhodes, "and they just shut up. They look at me. Okay, they were talking about me. That's for sure." She continues by saying, Ruby is like, I have to go. I go to Dustin and he goes, so, all French Canadian people are effing assholes, eh? I'm like, excuse me, what? He was nice to me 5 minutes ago. He's like, yeah, apparently that's the way it goes. I have a very bad relationship with Jack Rougeau. I can say he was even abusive to me, calling me to tell me I was fat and to lose weight. I'm like, maybe he had a bad experience with Jack too. But she then continues by saying, he's looking at me differently, and the funny thing is, Evil Uno walks by and he's like, hey Uno, that's true, French Canadians are effing assholes, right? Uno is like, I'm French Canadian, oh, okay. They talk a little bit, I'm there, but I just leave. I'm like, what the F just happened? I love Dustin. I even wrote to him messages thanking him for the keep stepping thing because it was very inspiring. I'm like, what the F just happened? Now, the match that night was a 6-woman tag team match with LuFisto teaming with the Bunny and Emi Sakura against Anna Jay and Sky Blue and Ruby Soho. She went on to describe what happened before and during the match itself by saying, and again, I quote, I have to get ready for my match now and I have to wrestle her, that being Ruby, this issue that they had previously. One thing I notice is Sky Blue is not saying a word. They tell her what to do. Anna Jay says, I can do this. It will be your turn there. I don't want to talk too much to put my input because I realize I'm the only one not signed in the match. Why am I there? At this point, I don't know. They told me I'm going to start with Sky Blue. What do you want to do? What are your moves? It's like either she's bland as a person or she's not allowed to talk. I don't know if she didn't understand why I was asking her for her stuff. It was weird. I was weird. I think, again, that's a typo saying that it was weird, but that's just a transcription in the interview here. She continues by saying, we do this. Ruby sets up the whole thing with Bunny. Emi is just following. I do a clothesline. I should probably go for a pin there. No, don't do a pin. Just tag Emi. Okay, cool, Ruby says. The finish will be, we do something. Anna Jay is going to biff you guys on the apron. I'll come and get you for the finish. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's fine. Do I go down? Do I stay up? Just stay there. The finish is coming. We go do the match. It is what it is. It's not like a 5-star match, but for the 4 minutes we had, it is what it is. When we get to the finish, Anna Jay hits all of us. I stay there and wait, and nothing is happening. They keep going. They do something else in the other corner. I'm waiting. Go back in, finish. 1, 2, 3. Then LuFisto opens up about Rhodes' feedback about the match. She said, and I quote, we go backstage and they all keep going. Dustin is right there and is like, what did you do? What do you mean? You made all those girls that are signed when you're not look really bad. It was terrible. Okay, details. You should have bumped on everything they did. I'm like, everything they planned was for me to sell to the next, for the other to sell to the tag, for me to give a clothesline, tag out, and only tag back in. I have 40 seconds in there. Sir, can you please give me details on what I should have done better so I don't repeat it? Carries on. When Anna Jay biffed you on the apron, you should have fallen outside. Now I'm like, thank you, sir. I see. Of course, everyone else left. No one is there when he's giving me this criticism. Billy Gunn is nearby. I look around and I'm like, can someone else tell me that I suck this bad? I need another opinion. He was looking at me like I was disgusting. Now I'm like, they told me to stay on the effing apron. Now, this has led to a response by Dustin Rhodes on Twitter last night, or X, whatever the platform's called at this point. He said, quote, hey, LuFisto, read your story, and sometimes as a coach, I have to be very honest and won't ever tell you a lie about how good or bad it was. Sometimes hard love comes out and wouldn't have it any other way. I hope you find what you're looking for. Hashtag keep stepping. Now, throughout the interview in question, LuFisto spoke about the chaotic nature of the backstage environment and how there was no unity and how people would talk shit about each other and how she had issues getting paid and how she never got to have the meeting she expected to have with Tony Khan about a potential role as a coach, which was the point of her being there to begin with. She also spoke about the issues he's had with Ruby Soho. Since then, numerous wrestlers have posted messages of support for Soho on social media. Tay Mello also jokingly posted a response to being referred to as just Sammy Guevara's girlfriend by LuFisto in the interview. When some time had passed after the interview was posted, though, LuFisto tweeted again, posting this that you can see on the screen in addition to another tweet, which we'll get to in just a second. She said, quote, had a 1-hour phone call with a current AEW talent. The woman who actually addressed the problems I did today were the ones sent home by Tony Khan. There there was a meeting to shoot on Thunder Rosa that Khan attended. Before leaving, he reminded them that their segments were the lowest. When some girls arranged a meeting to talk about Baker's crew, one of them ran to Britt to let her know. The girls that wanted to address the problem were the ones punished. Things didn't get better, they got worse. The legitimate wrestlers believe Tony doesn't give a damn about women's wrestling and feel like they're going back to the Divas era. Ask me who the F I am, tell me I'm irrelevant and that I'm doing this for attention, call me a liar, tell me to kill myself. You keep on closing your eyes and supporting human beings with shitty behavior. With the messages of support and especially this phone call I received from AEW employees, this nobody did the right thing. So what are your thoughts on this whole story? What are your thoughts on this development? Do you think that there's truth in what LuFisto is saying? Do you believe it's all BS and she's just a bitter old timer with a axe to grind against AEW for not getting hired? Or does this speak to a wider issue that's currently ongoing in AEW right now, particularly when it comes to the lack of backstage unity, the lack of accountability, the problems with structure in AEW, and the backstage environment that's quite toxic, according to some, in the AEW Women's Division? Let me know your thoughts about it, your thoughts on the interview, etc. in the comment section below. Really interested to know what you guys think about this. Finally, Nigel McGuinness versus Bryan Danielson. Could we see it all in? Well, of course, it's very unlikely given Bryan Danielson's current injury, his broken arm. And Nigel McGuinness has said, though, that Bryan Danielson won't face him at Wembley Stadium because he's scared. Nigel McGuinness was inspired to become a pro wrestler after attending SummerSlam at Wembley Stadium in 1992. As such, some fans have speculated that McGuinness could wrestle at AEW All In at Wembley on August 27. Alas, as McGuinness revealed on AEW Unrestricted, there was only one match he'd seriously consider, and it looks like it isn't going to happen. He said, quote, "The truth of the matter is, the only way I was ever going to come out of retirement was for a match against Bryan Danielson at Wembley Stadium. You know what I mean? It was going to take something like that to come out of retirement because I really value my job doing announcing, and there are so many other guys on the card that are so much ahead of me and deserve those spots, etc. But in the right situation, as I mentioned, with Dragon at Wembley Stadium, I'd be crazy to not be open to that possibility." Of course, Danielson is now unlikely to work All In after breaking his arm against Kazuchika Okada at Forbidden Door, but McGuinness joked the real reason Danielson won't be at the event is because he's too chicken to take on his former Ring of Honor rival. He said, quote, "Let's be honest, we all saw the x-rays and, you know, one of those bones was perfectly okay. I don't know how many bones are in the human body, like 206. He's got all of them apart from one. Does he really need time off? He's sitting at home, taking a paycheck, digging those clams out of the sand when he could be in there wrestling with me. To be perfectly honest, he's probably a bit scared. I think so." Now, obviously, he said that in jest, but still, it could be maybe a tease that this match is still possible, although right now it's very unlikely. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. But there you go, guys. This latest AEW news for you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner. Remember, you can join the WN365 roster. Click that join button. You get emojis and exclusive access to content not seen by anyone else. We're doing a lot of rematch watch-alongs at the moment. We just did one for Mick Foley versus Ric Flair from SummerSlam 2006. We're also doing the Monday Night Wars rewatch series as well, plus plenty more stuff coming there in the future. And I'll speak for you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.